What's up guys, it's Ed from TechSource and welcome to Setup Wars episode 84 where you submit your desk setup to get featured on the channel. If you guys want to participate, make sure to watch the video linked down below. Now before I start this episode, I'm going to be doing a few things differently here on Setup Wars and also on the channel. For starters, you guys have early access to my Setup Wars and also a bunch of other videos on YouTube a few days, sometimes even a week early on my nice channel. And again guys, it's a free app, you don't have to pay for anything to get early access. You can also browse through products on there, add some items to your wish list, and even get notified on some deals that you guys see sometimes on my videos, like Cool Tech or even Setup Wars, and a bunch of other videos that I do on TechSource. I feel like the best way to explain the app is basically if Amazon had a baby with YouTube, the nice app would be the baby. And the second announcement is that now I'll be hosting a giveaway on every single one of Setup Wars starting today. And to enter, it's very simple guys. Once you have the nice app, all you have to do is like some products featured on each episode of Setup Wars and add them to your wish list. And depending on what you have on your wish list, you will win one of those prizes. I will randomly pick 5 winners on each episode and I will announce it via the app with push notifications, which is a new feature they added on the app recently. What's also cool about this app is that I can actually send you guys a push notification, not only announcing the winner of the giveaway each week, but also the winner of Setup Wars as well. So you don't have to check my Instagram or Twitter for any of that. So if you guys want to participate in these weekly giveaways, make sure to download the app. Again, it's completely free. You guys don't have to pay for anything. So yeah, with that said and done, let's go ahead and start the show. If you guys are shopping around for your next game, make sure to check out g2a.com because they have the cheapest CD keys available for pretty much any game. I'll drop a link to them down below if you want to check it out. So starting off the episode, we have Cristian in a really sick black and red setup. He's rocking an Asus 28-inch G-Sync monitor that's sitting on top of the black IKEA Mickey desk, which he added some white vinyl to. I gotta say, that looks way better, and the contrast makes everything on the desk pop. Good choice. He is also using a Razer Black Widow Chroma keyboard, a Razer Tartarus Chroma as well, and a Mad Catz Rat 7 mouse on top of the Razer Firefly mousepad. For audio, he is using the Sennheiser PC350 headset and a pair of Kanto Bend speakers, which complements the setup really nicely. Speaking of complementing the setup, take a look at this beast wall-mounted PC. It's equipped with a 6700K and an MSI GTX 1070. And finally, we got the cable management. Not bad at all. It looks like he used the Omni mount cable sleeve to wrap and hide the cables near the bottom. Excellent work. The only things I would recommend for this setup is a headphone hanger for your headset to keep it hidden behind your monitor, and also a webcam mount for your webcam, so that way it's not just sitting on your desk. I'm guessing it doesn't fit on top of your monitor, which is why you left it on the desk. So this mount will actually help you keep the surface area cleaner. A very dope black and red setup. Thank you, Cristian, for entering. Next up, we have Edwin with a very clean black and blue setup. So he's hooked up the LG 34-inch ultra-wide on a monitor arm, and right above that is the Pioneer soundbar. The desk looks pretty dope. According to Edwin, it's custom made, but I would love to know where you picked up the tabletop from. For peripherals, he has the Razer Black Widow Chroma and a Death Adder Chroma on top of another Razer Firefly. That's like 2 setups already with Razer gear. There's not much else on the desk other than a plant and a phone stand. Of course, we have the PC as well, which has a 6400 and a Gigabyte GTX 960. Surprisingly, it's water cooled as well. He does have a Transshine vintage microphone hiding off to the side when he is not using it, and below the desk he mounted an Anker USB hub and the rest of the cables. A very clean job with the cable management and just overall a very clean setup as well. Thank you, Edwin, for entering. Jumping into multi-monitor setups, we have Joshua up next with 3 24-inch LG monitors, a Havit keyboard, and a Corsair M65 Pro RGB mouse on top of the Reflex Lab mousepad. He also has a couple of Star Wars figurines and a salt lamp for that mood lighting, and according to some articles I found, it can actually help reduce allergy and asthma symptoms, amongst other things like improving mood, concentration, and even better sleep. I seriously had no idea about any of this, so I actually picked one up for myself to test it out. Cable management is also pretty good. All the wires are off at the ground and stored inside the rack, so no complaints here. This part looks a bit familiar from my previous perfect setups. It looks like he hooked up a USB hub and routed the Cloud 2 headphone cable through here as well. The PC that's pushing all these pixels has a 4770K and an EVGA GTX 1070 for the win. The setup doesn't really have a theme, nor does it have any personality, but it's put together nicely, and if that's all you care about, then more power to you. It looks like you're a fan of Star Wars, so personally if that was my setup, I would add a Star Wars mural right above your setup. I actually found a few badass ones on eBay, and I'll have them linked down below if you want to check them out. They're actually pretty cheap too. A very nice setup indeed. Thank you, Joshua, for entering. Changing things up, we have a dual setup from Locke. An ROG inspired setup, I should say. This room looks badass. I'm definitely loving that custom ROG plaque on the wall, and that's not the only piece too. There's a custom piece hanging right above their couch and their ceiling. Are you kidding me right now? You can even change the colors, like, wow. Alright, so back to the actual setup. The left one has a 27-inch Asus ROG Swift monitor, Corsair K70 Rapid Fire RGB keyboard, and of course an Asus ROG Spatha mouse on top of the Firefly mousepad. The other setup also has a 27-inch Asus monitor, but it's a slightly different model. And for peripherals, he's rocking a Corsair Strafe RGB, Asus Gladius mouse on top of an Asus RGB Whetstone mousepad. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure if he shares this setup with a sibling or if he's using two setups for two different things, since he didn't clarify that in the notes. Aside from all the cool shit in this room, I think the custom desk is probably the coolest. Cable management, on the other hand, is not so cool. It can definitely be improved with a channel raceway that you can hook up under the desk with lots of 3M tape to keep stuff off of the ground. PC number 1 is rocking a 6850K overclocked to 4.5 GHz and an Asus ROG Strix 1080 with 32 gigs of RAM, while PC number 2 has a 5820K also overclocked to 4.5 GHz and an Asus Strix 1060. I guess he only took a picture of one of the PCs. I mean, what can I say? I'm definitely loving this ROG themed gaming room. I think you guys did an awesome job on all of the custom work, and this is definitely worthy of a seal of approval, had you perfected the cable management. Regardless, thank you Locke for entering. Finishing up the episode, we have Samma and his minimalistic setup being powered by a 13-inch MacBook Pro. He's rocking a 27-inch Asus monitor that's in between some Sony speakers. He's also running a wireless setup using the Apple Magic Keyboard and mouse. I also like how he kept it symmetrical as well by putting an award plaque on each side of the desk. Samma has also added a hook to hold his lightning cable on the right side and an Anchor USB hub on the left. I'm not sure what the switch is for, maybe for the RGB lights, but it's in a very convenient place. I don't see any wires, so I have nothing bad to say on the cable management, but overall a very simple and clean setup, no doubt. Thank you Samma for entering. So that is it for this episode of Setup Wars. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to drop your comments down below and vote on who you think has the best desk setup. Actually, in the near future, the Nice app will have a voting system, so you guys can actually go on there and check out the real-time votes on each setup. So we're going to be rolling that really soon, sometime in January, so make sure you guys stick around. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.